over here. This is our daughter, Dominica, who's going to do a very brief look at the country.
Hi guys, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands that we're meeting on today, the Gundungurra people, and welcome any First Nations people who might be here with us tonight. I'd like to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and in particular First Nations women who bore the brunt of colonial violence. Sovereignty was never ceded, no treaty has ever been signed, and this was and always will be Aboriginal land. Thank you.
Well done. Thanks, Dominica. So look, welcome everybody. Really appreciate you all being here tonight. It's especially nice to see Rosa here. After working for nearly 2 years, I mean, she spent most of her life in the studio. It was quite amazing. Most mornings at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I used to wake up and look around, there was no one there. And I used to go up and look at the lights of the studio and she'd be up there, which is just really quite amazing. I've got to say I'm an absolute awe of her talent, but even more of her discipline and her passion for what she absolutely loves. What you're looking at tonight is about 2 years' work, so it'd be really nice if you buy some so I don't have to take them all down. Anyway, in saying that, I'd like to introduce you next to Melissa Ritchie. I don't know if you know, people here know Melissa. She's a very, very well-known Australian artist who's done some amazing portraits of the comedians like Arch Barker and many, many other ones. And she's been exhibited in the Archibald, Porgy Beach, incredibly successful. So I'd like to pass you on to Melissa.
I'm going to read from paper. I thought I could memorise this, but I haven't, and I don't want to miss anything, so I do apologise. But I just want to let everybody know, in my opinion, Rosa Fedele is one of the finest figurative painters in Australia today. Trained at Julian Ashton Art School, Rosa's draftsmanship is skilled and her brush stroke is disappear effortless. She makes it look so easy and so perfect. So it is no surprise that she's one of my favourite artists, and I'm a huge fan, so I am extremely honoured to be here opening the exhibition today. Dream Machines, collective of vintage beauty, rich, enjoys colour, immortalised in paint, and boy does she know how to paint. After a pretty horrific year we've all had, year and a half, with environmental disasters, political turmoil, assaults, riots, uprisings, and of course, pandemic, modern life kind of sucks. So this exhibition and the work Rosa has been focusing on during these malign months of almost 2 years of pretty much torture, it's been much about escapism, and she presents them to us today as a breath of fresh air. Rosa's paintings take us on a journey to a time of carefree joy, paying a nostalgic homage to yesteryear, with the curvaceous lines of vintage cars, sorry, I keep my eyes on the paper, paired with classic feminine beauty and rustic male charm, or my favourite, the windswept dogs that are just having the times of their lives. Rosa's work is a love letter to days gone past. Her paintings pull at your heartstrings and warm your soul, much like Norman Rockwell and the sexy pin-ups of the 1940s. Rosa's work takes us to a worry-free time when we can still travel overseas, perhaps to Italy on a Vespa ride through Naples, or to a time when Holden cars were still a coveted Australian icon, or when the worst bug you could get was a fly in your mouth during a convertible ride. I'm in love with Rosa's style and her composition skills. Her colour palettes are so rich and vibrant, they are practically tasty. Her artworks are sensory. I can feel the wind on my skin, squint at the sun reflecting from the chrome. I can smell the oil, taste the wine, hear the jazz, and feel the joy. For me, it's jazz. I first met Rosa 4 years ago when we were both finalists in the Portia Geach Memorial Art Award, which many of you may realise is a female artist's art prize. But before I met Rosa, a beautiful painting caught my eye. It was a portrait of an elegant woman seated in a profile pose like an Egyptian goddess, wearing an abundance of ruffles. It was a portrait of the singer Montaigne, and it was my favourite painting in the entire exhibition that year. Then I met the artist, Rosa Fedele, and I've been a fan of hers ever since. I also discovered that Rosa is every bit the Renaissance woman, because she's not only an amazing painter, but she's also a novelist with 2 published fictional novels. Plus, she's illustrated her books, which is no surprise, really. Each of her paintings could be the cover of a book or a movie poster, as Rosa is a storyteller. There is a story on every canvas, and I want to know more. I met Rosa again last year when we were exhibition buddies right here in the John Coates Portrait Prize. I heard Rosa had just made the tree change from Balmain to Burradoo, and as fate would have it, moved to the same block of land that my husband grew up on many years ago. Wow. I felt that our reconnection was serendipitous. I have a lot in common, well, I feel I've got a lot in common with Rosa. We're both female Australian artists with a figurative focus, mothers to theatrical children, and we juggle work-life balance, thankfully with the help of very supportive husbands. But I'm not a novelist, but I do read books, and I've read one of Rosa's, and I recommend you do too. They're on sale now. But the most thing that I feel we've got in common is our interest in subjects that bring joy. Too much art these days is literally dripping in pain, darkness and horror. But we are already overexposed to this in real life through the news and social media 24/7. It's traumatising. For a permanent piece of art, isn't it nice to collect something that brings light and joy? So forget COVID. The most infectious thing in this room tonight is joy. As you walk the room, look across and see the smiles on the faces of the people as they look at Rosa's paintings. The joy is contagious. And when you find a painting that gives you a smile that you just can't wipe away, then that's a sign that you have found your painting, and make sure you snap it up, because this exhibition is only open for 6 days. I found mine. Congratulations, Rosa. Dream Machines is a beautiful exhibition.
I had some words prepared, and they're all, I don't write things down because I can't spell, no. And they've just gone out of my head. I've just gone out of my head, and I'm just going to talk, and I'm not going to talk for very long. First of all, thank you so many of you, all of you that have come, and so many people have come from so far away. And I can see people that were here at my first solo exhibition 16 years ago. Yes, and I can see people that have come to both my book launches at Glee Books in Sydney. And thank you all my new friends, all my new Southern Highlands friends that are here coming. I'm not going to bang on about my art. There's no underlying meaning to my art. It's not dripping with meaning. There's no dark underbelly to it. And you don't need to psychoanalyze it. What you see is what you get. I paint because it is a joyful process. I love making people happy. I love making people smile. And God knows we need it after the year that we've all had. I just want you all to enjoy yourselves, take a breath of fresh air, enjoy the colour, the palette, the beautiful old chrome, the rust, the Duco, the joy of the old cars, which we're going to lose. There won't be many old cars left unless you're actually a car collector. They'll be all gone, and the same with the beautiful old Vespers. And just a quick word with regard to the Vespers. Everyone keeps asking me, why have I started painting Vespers? And I'm just going to briefly tell you. I lost my mother when I was a baby, so I didn't get to meet her. And then about a year or so ago, Auntie Mim found a photo, and there's only about 3 or 4 photos of her in existence. And Auntie Mim found a photo of my mother on a Vespa when she was about 17 years old in Calabria with her brother, Uncle Guy, who is Rosa's husband, who isn't with us tonight, sadly. And it was the most beautiful photo, and she looked so happy and joyful. And, you know, it's a funny thing, before that, Vespas didn't come onto my radar, but that photo triggered something and set me off, and I just started painting Vespas, and I love it. And I hope you all like the show as well. And if you see something you like, please go and see our gorgeous Dom, who's standing over there. Can you wave, Dom?
Yeah.
And I'm allowed to say this because this is my show. Can everyone clap for Dom? She's just graduated from Within 2 weeks of graduating from VCA, she's got a top agent. And I'm just so proud of her. If you see something and you're not sure whether you want it and you're not sure whether you like it, please go and see Mike, who'll help you decide. Or Travis, who will also help you decide. And Miles will help you decide as well. And other than that, look, have a glass of bubbles, enjoy your evening, and so nice to see you all here. Thank you.
Yeah.